Ready, color bars in tone.
Ready.
And take color bars in tone. And ready, slate. And that's going to go at 3:09:30 on the dot.
That's funny.
Is it just black for 5 seconds between
Yep.
the countdown?
Yes,
and,
it is.
Okay. Ready to lose bars in tone. Ready to take slate and take it. Thank you. And ready, black. Take black. And ready, countdown.
10,
Take.
9,
Ready, camera 3.
9, 8,
Ready, camera 3. Ready, bomb.
We're gonna have to
ready.
go off the
5,
countdown because we're
4,
starting at.
3,
And take it, and Mike and cue him.
To the show that shows you how to survive the harsh winters of Ithaca. I'm your host,
And ready
John
the
Rocco,
open video.
and this is Surviving Ithaca Winters.
Jordan, you're gonna have to play
And
it.
take
Yep,
it and
ready.
play it.
Oh, we'll be taking a look
Play
at
it.
some of the best ways to prep for winter.
Okay, this is happening.
Ready, come back up on camera 3.
You should go now.
And take it. And cue him.
As I was saying, coming up on the show, we'll be taking a look
Don't
at
forget
some
the
of
key.
the best
Me.
ways to prep
And
for winter weather. We're also going to be having
Take the
some
coming up
special
key.
guests in the studio to show you how you can keep yourself
Okay.
warm this winter season, and also how to
And
better
lose
protect
it.
yourself on the road.
or, no,
And
sorry.
what necessary tools
Ready,
you will
audio?
need to help you out of the most snowy of situations. All of that and more
Black,
when we come
I
back.
guess. Yeah, ready, black.
Roof.
Oh, yeah. Fuck.
Okay, 311.
Wow, sorry about that, guys. That blew. Wow, fuck.
Yeah.
We're gonna come up to camera 3 again, right? Yes.
You need him still in front of the monitor, right?
Huh?
He needs to be in front of the
Yeah,
monitor,
yeah,
right?
yep,
Okay.
yep. In front of that.
30 seconds.
Oh my god, F me. Okay.
John, you're doing great.
Thank you.
15
What time are we coming out of this?
3:12.
on the dot.
Okay.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Ready to
2,
take
1.
and take it. And ready, camera 3. And take camera 3 and cue him.
Welcome back. You know, cars, like people,
Ready,
don't
package
function
1.
well in the cold weather. With salted streets, icy roads, freezing temperatures, and heavy snow. How can you make sure your car will be cared for during the difficult winter months?
And play it. And take it.
It's me again.
Thank you.
If you're a car owner in Ithaca, here are some tips for taking care of your car in the wintertime.
All right, so let's get to camera 2.
Move the snow around your tires.
He peels out of the parking lot with the car.
It's also important to keep a blanket in your car in case you break down and get stuck. And these ice scrapers are super handy for pushing the snow off your car.
30 seconds.
Start your car a few minutes early. Since it's really cold out, it's going to take much longer to warm up. And if you know if it's going to snow, you're going to want to keep your windshield wipers up throughout the duration of the night. I hope you guys
All
enjoyed
right, ready,
these
camera
tips.
2,
I'll see
ready
you
to
back
mic
in
and
the
cue
studio.
talent. Take camera 2 and mic and cue him.
Please welcome my first guest, Melissa Day. Hi, Melissa.
Ready, camera
and,
3,
thank
take
you
it.
for joining me.
Of course.
Don't forget
Thank you
key.
for having me.
Oh, my
Ready,
pleasure.
key.
Now,
Take it.
you claim to be an expert on being prepared for the cold
And
weather.
lose it, thank
so
you.
Just
Ready,
'cause
camera
I gotta
1,
make sure
take
myself.
it.
How many Ithaca winters have you actually seen?
Ready, 3,
So I
take.
have been in 3 Ithaca winters, but I
Ready,
left purposely
2.
for my 3rd Ithaca winter because I wanted to make sure I was understanding where people
And
were coming from. I went over to London, and it's a good thing I did because
Take it.
London was actually experiencing like 20-degree weather, which is something they didn't know how to handle. And here it was nice 60 degrees, so it's a good thing I was there.
Oh, that's great.
And ready,
now,
camera one.
we have a lot of
Take it.
incoming first-year students to Ithaca every year, and a lot of them often are
So
naive and
we have about
don't
2
really know
minutes
what to
left in
expect
Okay.
when winter comes around in Ithaca. So, what kind of advice would you
scratch
give
that 2.5.
the first-year students when it comes to winters
Ready,
in
two.
Ithaca?
Take
Yeah,
it.
unfortunately,
And
freshmen
ready,
are the
three,
ones that
take.
suffer the most from Ithaca winters. But I would say the key thing is to layer up, and especially make sure you get hats, gloves, scarves. I see a lot of freshmen not wearing those items
Ready,
and getting
two.
frostbite, which seems to be a really
Take.
big factor. So definitely layer up. For girls, you can wear leggings and then wear jeans. That's a great tip that I found out when I became a freshman here, so definitely do that.
Ready,
Yeah,
one.
layers are definitely
Take it.
important. Up here in Ithaca, especially this past winter, I believe, we had a couple days where the temperatures got below freezing.
Yes.
And when that happens, I mean, it's just
Ready, two,
sometimes
take.
2 layers, 3 layers just isn't enough. What we just say is like
Ready,
the least
three.
amount of layers one should wear when it gets below freezing.
I
And
think
take
it
it.
really depends on the people and how far you're going, how long you're going to be outside. But I would say definitely at least 2. I would say probably 3 should be your minimum amount of layers
Ready,
if you're going to be
4.
outside. especially
Sure,
for
you can take 4.
I would certainly agree with that. Now, I know
Ready,
in
one.
my situation,
And
when
take.
it gets below freezing, I can't get outside. I can't bring myself to go outside. Have you ever skipped a class just
Ready, two.
because it was too cold out?
Take it.
Well, that's actually how I
Ready,
ended up
3.
becoming such an expert on the winter.
Take it.
So I was very determined my freshman year to get to all of my classes. My mother made it very clear I was not allowed to skip them because of the amount of money it cost. So I embarked out on the cold, and I got frostbite all over my hands and my
Ready,
face.
two.
And so I went ahead and
Take.
researched, and I found out all these helpful tips, and I felt the need to share them with the community.
Ready,
Oh,
1.
that's incredible.
Take
now,
it.
Ithaca is on a hill, so obviously just being
So
layered
there's
up
about a minute
sometimes
left.
might not be enough because you got a whole hill to
But I
walk
think
up.
they
So
might be finishing
in the
up.
cold weather, do you
Okay.
have a preferred
4.
method of transportation?
Take. Ready, 3.
Absolutely. So my
Shit.
first one is I love dog sleds. They're a lot
Take
of
it.
fun.
Yeah.
It gets everyone around you.
Alright,
Love to see the
so
dogs, but
just take
unfortunately,
it out
you know,
whenever they're
Ithaca
done.
doesn't let you just have dogs
How much more
chilling
time
while you're in class. So I would always say Zambonis are also a fun one.
Ready,
If it's
2.
really, really
Um,
icy. But
It's like
Ithaca,
40
again,
left,
finding
but
parking
I
for
think
that
they're
is
finishing up, so we're
atrocious.
just
I
gonna.
would probably
Great.
recommend taking a car because that's what we have available. For
And
cold
take it.
spaces, but,
What type of car would you recommend?
Definitely an SUV. I'm sorry, but like the smaller
Take
cars
3.
just aren't going to cut it. You have to get through all that snow. It's better to be higher up so you can see better. No Mini Cooper is going to be able to get up the hill.
And take
I hear
camera 2.
that. Well, thank you very
Alright.
much.
Ready, still
now,
store
when
1
we
with
come
bump.
back, my
Don't
guest
forget
here is
coming
going
up
to
key.
show us some
Oh,
of the equipment
unless you don't
I
want
think
to.
we
No,
start
yeah,
now.
we're not gonna do
better
it.
traverse the winter wasteland. So stay tuned.
Take still and bump. And take it.
1 minute.
Okay, so we're 15 under.
So are we not doing coming up keys anymore?
If I like.
Okay,
remember to
I'll
do
have
it.
them just in case.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. I'm gonna come up on camera 2.
When are we playing this next package?
What was that,
yes,
Jordan?
you can just change it to the 3rd. Thank you.
When are we playing this next package? What block?
That next
30
package is in D
seconds.
block.
Oh, okay. Do we need the Vermont anymore or no?
No, it's not in this.
Not in this block.
Okay.
Ten, 9, 8,
Ready to
we
mic
are
and cue
10 seconds
talent?
under right now.
5,
We're 10 seconds under.
4, 3,
Ready camera 2.
Two,
Oh, ready still, I mean.
1.
And take still. And ready camera 2. Ready to mic and cue talent. Lose that. Yep. And take camera 2. Lose the bump and mic and cue talent.
And we're back. Now, if you go to school in Ithaca, then you are most certainly bound to have some days where you get snowed in, and sometimes in situations like that, Ithaca still refuses to cancel class. So, in case the snow proves too difficult to traverse, we have our guest Melissa here to show show us some tools to help you out. Melissa,
Ready,
what do you got
camera
for us? Well, I know. First of all, the first thing we need
Ready,
when
camera
digging
3.
out a car or really just
Take it.
chopping down ice or whatever, you need a nice old ice scraper like this one. This is my go-to. I love this. This has gotten me out of many snowy situations. What else do you
Ready
have
camera
for us?
2.
Well, your ice scraper is very cute, but
Okay.
it's not the heavy duty one.
Ready,
What you really
1.
need is
Take.
you need an ice scraper like this. All right, because you have
And
both
ready,
a tiny one and a big
4.
one on this end.
Take it.
And what's most important is this hat has a brush. You don't want to be using an ice scraper on it when it's soft powdered snow. You don't want the chance of scratching your windshield.
Ready,
It costs you
3.
thousands of
Take.
dollars to repair. Also, this one extends, which is really, really nice if you have an SUV, because then you can get to the top
Ready,
of your
2.
roof.
Wow.
So
Take.
that is what freshmen use. This is what seniors use.
I
So
see.
get yourself a nice one.
Well, now I feel very inadequate.
Uh,
What else do you have?
Ready,
So-
camera 1.
As you can see, I'm wearing snow
And
pants.
take it.
This is so crucial. A lot of people forget. If you're going to be outside for a long period of time, wearing snow pants is crucial. It's literally
about
in
2
the
minutes
name.
left in
You
this.
should be wearing these if you're going to be out there. So if you're going to the football games or anything like that, definitely
Ready,
wear
2.
these.
Yeah, you don't want to be cheering on your favorite sports teams
Take
with
it.
damp pants. You're gonna get out of the game before halftime even starts.
The next thing I would suggest is
Ready,
getting
and
snow
take it.
boots. Snow boots are really important
Ready, camera
because
4.
they have the track pads under
And
you.
take
You
it.
can see the ridges. These will prevent you from not falling on ice. These are really important.
Ready,
a lot of people
camera
think
3,
that wearing
take
regular
it.
boots is just fine, but it's not. The tracking, the pads underneath really help
Ready,
you
2,
stop you from falling, and I think it's really
take.
important that you get a pair.
Nice, nice. I'm also curious
Ready,
about
1, 3.
these bits at the top
Take.
here. These look like they're made of some kind of wool.
Yes.
Is this good with protecting against the snow? Because I feel like
Ready,
this could
2.
easily get wet and maybe seep into the boot.
Take.
It can, but there's a lining on the inside that is sewn in. It's hard to see. That will
Oh.
prevent.
Alright, there's about a
Tell
minute
them to
left in
kind of
this.
like hurry up through
Yeah.
this.
So,
Rachel.
our final clothing item that a lot of people don't think to get is
Ready, 3.
hat. Nice little
Or
like
1.
ski mask. This will
Take.
prevent you from getting nice frostbite on your face.
Okay.
And
Another thing a lot of
ready,
people
2.
don't think about is before it snows, you need to lay down
Camera
salt.
4,
This will
get real
prevent
close
you
in
from
on that.
getting lawsuits against you
Ready,
from
4.
someone slipping on ice
Take
in
it.
your property. So salt is a very key ingredient when
And ready, 2.
you're
Take.
talking about snowing.
Awesome. Now I hear sometimes
Ready,
salt
3.
is either
Take.
put down
30
first
left
or
in
put down
this.
after
We're gonna
the
be
snow
over. It's
falls.
okay
It's
though.
put down before.
Ready,
and
1.
just as a last minute thing, make sure
Take
you
it.
take your vitamins in the winter.
Camera 4, get
Everyone
nice and
doesn't
close
take
on
their
that.
vitamins. You're bound to get
And
sick.
take
if
it.
you start to feel sick, I recommend getting
And
something
ready,
like
1.
Ziacam to
Take.
help you feel better and cut your cold in half.
Medicine
2.
is important.
Take.
Medicine
Yes.
is important. Well, thank you so much for showing us some of your tools here. It's
Ready,
great
still.
stuff.
Okay, cool.
Coming
And
up,
coming up,
we're going to have another guest in the
Yeah,
studio.
yeah, we'll go with
Will
coming-
tell us some of the
No,
best ways
yes, take
to
it.
stay warm.
Thank you, Anthony.
Stay tuned.
And ready, still. And bump music. And take still with bump. Ready, black. And lose the key. Yep, and take it. And thank you.
1
very
minute.
much. Excellent.
You'll say ready
We
package
are-
when we play package, right?
Switch.
Yes, he will. Kevin will.
Okay.
We're only 2 seconds over. What time are 22:36.
Everybody hear me?
So 30 left in this break.
I hate directing. Thank you.
20 left
yeah,
in break.
ready for still store 1. Or ready to fade to black, then still store 1.
You said 36, right?
Yeah.
Alright, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dissolve black and still store 1.
Alright.
Ready camera 3. Dissolve camera 3, mic and cue. Music
And
under.
welcome back. It's that time of year again where you can't go outside without bundling
Ready
up.
package.
So today, we're going to run you through some of the best ways you can brace yourself against the coming climates.
Take package.
Hello,
Sorry.
it's me.
It's okay.
It's that time of year again where it is just frigid outside.
That's how loud
Is
it
that
gets.
low?
Yeah.
So today I'm going to show you how to prep for such terrible
Coming back.
Yeah, the mic, the Mac is all the way up.
That's okay.
socks, particularly the
Have camera 2 ready.
boots.
How much longer in this we got?
Thermal jacket.
Oh, fuck.
Alright, dissolve camera 2, mic and Q. Dissolve camera 2, mic and Q.
And now, please
Great.
welcome my next guest, hot soup and beverage expert, Dylan Papa. Thanks for being here, Dylan.
Ready
thanks for
camera
having me,
3 with key.
Now, I want to talk to you about beverages and foods that
Take camera
you
1.
usually consume to help you keep you warm. Now, sometimes in the morning, at least for
Ready,
me,
camera
it's so
3
cold that I
with-
just don't want to leave the house. So
Ready,
ever
camera
happened to
3
you?
with
And if
key.
it does, do you have a preferred beverage that helps give you the kick in the pants you need to just get out the door?
Take camera
Yeah,
3.
well, yeah, like yesterday, I didn't.
lose the key.
It was cold out, so I didn't even bother going to class. And
Ready, camera
I
2.
was missing my tea. Now,
Take
tea
camera
is
2.
a go-to for me in the morning, depending on how sleepy I am. I have a sleep disorder, so it,
Ready, camera
it
3.
varies time to time. I'll either go
Take
from
camera 3.
coffee to tea. Coffee is usually a good way to kickstart the day if it is cold
Ready,
out.
1.
And you know, get the caffeine in you, get it rolling.
All right, we have about
Take 1.
4
And-
minutes left in
and
this,
with
but
the,
Ready,
with
2.
the
Take
tea,
2.
there's something with tea that it's just it's just nice on the palate. It's
ready,
just you
4.
can't go wrong with
Oh, no,
tea,
ready, 3.
regardless
We're
of
not
whether
gonna
you
do
not,
too sharp.
whether or not you
Take
have
camera
honey or whether or not you have sugar in it. You know,
Yeah.
foods. Some of the
Ready,
foods
4.
I like to stick to soups.
Take 4.
Not all the time, obviously. But I like to go with tomato soup, miso soup, even chicken noodle.
Ready,
Chicken
1.
noodle is always a go-to in the winter. You know, it's a classic. With tomato soup, I usually like to spice things up a
ready,
bit.
3.
You get a can of
Take
tomato
3.
soup, and what I like to do is I'll use either
Ready, 2.
half heavy cream and half milk, or you can use half and half and
Take
fill
2.
up the can. That gives it a creamier texture. And what I like to do is throw some minced garlic in there, and then some pesto. And, you wouldn't think pesto would go well with it, but it goes
Ready, 1.
it really helps with the palate.
Well,
Take
it definitely sounds like you know your stuff. But going back to the drinks for a second, what would you say is better
Ready,
for staying
2.
warm? I know you said you usually
Take 2.
prefer tea that like helps give you the
Ready,
jolt
3.
to get up. But when it comes to staying warm, I know there's only so many hot beverages you could choose from. What's like your go-to?
Take 3.
Ah, man, it's difficult. I still would have to go with tea, especially if
ready,
it's in
4.
the thermos. I mean, that'll stay warm all day, and like
Take
when
4.
you're going to and from certain buildings on campus, it really helps out. You know, just pop it open, take a
there's
little
about
swig, and
2:30
you're all
left
set.
in this.
That makes sense. And then you
Ready,
also
1, take
mentioned
1.
soups. Like, do you have a favorite soup that you prefer for staying warm?
Ready, 3.
Ooh, I would
Take
have
3.
to say miso. Because miso is so well known for, you know, helping with a common cold,
Ready,
flu-like
2.
symptoms, stuff like that.
Take
It really
2.
helps out your respiratory system, and it kind of gives you a boost in energy.
Ready,
it's
3.
not too
Take 3.
strong on the palate. It's very light. It's just, you know, one of those things that it's always
Ready,
my
1.
go-to.
Do you prefer to go
Take
to
1.
like Asian restaurants to buy the miso soup, or do you prefer just buying it from a grocery
I
store?
either
Take 3.
homemade miso soup. You can always make a good homemade miso soup, or honestly, I
ready,
like
4.
Asian restaurants
Take
do
4.
it perfectly all the time. Like you can never go wrong with getting miso soup from an Asian restaurant.
Ready,
Yeah, they
1.
have the professionals doing
Take
it
1.
over there. Now, I know some of my roommates, I'm not sure how everyone feels about this.
Take
It
4.
sounds wrong to me, but their beverage of choice when it comes to staying warm is usually alcohol
Ready,
drinks.
3.
And especially around this time of the year, they love their holiday-themed alcohol
We have a minute 30 left in this.
Spiked eggnog, and,
take 1.
all sorts of stuff like that. Do you think alcohol's a good
Ready, 3.
a good sort of drink to use
Take
for
3.
The holiday season?
I honestly no, I wouldn't say that, Sean, because alcohol it brings
Ready,
the
2.
heat from your organs to the outer part of your body. You may feel
Take
warmer,
2.
but like if you're outside in colder weather, you're more likely to get
How much time we
hypothermia or frostbite.
About a
lot
minute left in
faster.
this.
So I would say to stay away from alcohol if you're going
Ready,
to
3, take
walk
3.
to school or travel or anything like that.
Ready, 1.
Rough stuff.
Take 1.
I was really kind of hoping you'd give me the go
Are they
ahead.
done with questions?
Ready, 4.
You know, I can't
okay,
do that.
that's fine.
Take
Oh,
4.
well,
It wouldn't
too
be
bad.
ethical.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, in this weather, getting sick
Ready,
is,
1,
is a
take 1.
very real risk, as we were just talking about. Now, what's would you say is the quickest way to stop cold, or which
Ready, 3.
combination of drinks and foods would you use to prevent getting sick
Ooh.
in this,
Take
this
3.
climate?
I mean, I keep going back to tea. Tea's always a big one, but
Okay.
you want to go with something more like a
All right, 30 left in this.
like a homemade tea where
All
you
right,
go out,
last
like for
question here.
This is
example,
the
my
last
roommate
question.
used to go and pick pine needles
Ready, 2.
off of trees, and
Take
you
2.
can use pine needles to make tea, and it really helps if you're sick with coughing. It helps with your sinuses and
take 3.
everything like that. But I would also have to say going to soup is always a first
All right,
option.
tell them to wrap it
And
up.
I mean, if
Ready,
I were
4.
to recommend a soup,
Take 4.
I'd have to go with chicken noodle because miso, it's kind of mixing it up a bit. It's,
Oh my
you know.
Oh, take
So-
1.
Definitely got to touch on this later.
Yes,
but for
yes,
right
of
now,
course.
thanks for talking to me about some of your favorite soups. Coming up on the
sneak
show,
in the
Dylan
music.
here is actually going to demonstrate one of his favorite teas to perform, and along with some other
Rizal still store one.
throughout the winter.
Rizal
Stick
still
around.
store one. Ready to fade to black. Fade to black.
All right, we're 5
And then
seconds
fade
over.
to roof cam. Music under.
It stays up, right? I think the
Yeah, well, yeah, not too high.
John, when are we coming back?
we got 45 seconds.
Okay.
I am so sorry about that. I was just trying to get him to wrap it up, did not know camera 4 was on, and I will not make that mistake again.
That's okay.
Alright.
Things happen.
When are we coming back in?
We got 30 seconds.
Okay.
I think they're already gonna have coffee prepared. Or maybe they are making
Tea.
coffee.
We're making tea and it's not going to be good. So I wouldn't recommend drinking
We
it.
got 15,
Ready to fade to black.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fade to black. Fade to still store one. Music up. Ready, camera 2.
We're 5 seconds over.
Mike and Q talent. Fade to camera 2. Mike and Q talent.
And welcome
Music
back.
under.
Now,
My bad.
last time my guest here discussed some of his favorite drinks that help him keep warm during our Ithaca winters. But now he's actually going to show us. Now, here we have some hot beverages laid out. We have coffee, hot chocolate, and
Ready, camera.
why don't you
Yes.
guide me through some
Ready,
of your
camera
favorite
1.
beverages
Take
here?
camera
Oh,
1.
well, first I'm going to start the kettle with the water boiling.
Ready, camera 2.
First,
Take camera
right,
2.
we have here coffee. Folgers coffee.
3.
It's always a good go-to
Take 3.
in the morning.
Um,
It's a medium roast coffee, and I really like to use it
ready,
just
camera
to
4.
wake myself up. I'm always
4.
groggy in the
You a
morning.
we
big,
have
coffee
2 full
grounds
screen
guy?
Oh,
graphics
yeah,
in
of course,
this.
of
Okay.
course.
One
You
for
can't
the
not
soup
be
and
in
one
this
for the
type of
tea.
weather.
Ready 2.
Nowadays,
take
a lot
2.
of people prefer the K-cups. Now, do you know Folgers comes
Oof.
with a little their
I'm
K-cup on?
Pretty
Fork,
sure
you get on
Folgers
the hot
does
chocolate.
not do that, but I also
Ready,
have to
3,
say the
take 3.
K-cups are, you know, it's way more expensive. Like, you can get this, I think this is $5
Ready,
for
2.
this big thing. A pound of ground coffee.
Take 2.
And K-cups, you get 20 of them for $15.
That's pretty incredible.
You go through those things quick, you know? But next up, we have
Ready,
hot
4.
chocolate, and I have
Take
to go
4.
with Swiss Miss. Hot chocolate's always a go-to at the very end of the day. I don't
Ready,
recommend
camera
it in the
3.
morning. It's you kind of
Take
get a
3.
weird. It's just this
I've
weird.
tried it. I feel very full. I feel
Yeah.
very sleepy.
Yeah,
It's definitely
it-
the end of the
Ready,
day.
camera 2.
Exactly.
We have about 5 minutes
and
left in
like,
this.
what I
Take
love
2.
to do is just come home at the end of a long day, probably more around nighttime, grab myself a cup of hot chocolate, and what I like to do, and
Ready,
now hear me
camera
out
3.
on this, I like to
3.
put a dollop of like fluffernutter in there.
Ready,
That
1.
sounds
Take 1.
unappealing to me.
Well, I mean,
Ready, 2.
don't knock it before you try
Take
it,
2.
Sean. It's essentially putting a giant marshmallow that melts into
Ready,
your
3.
hot chocolate,
Fair
and it is
enough.
one of the
Take
most
3.
enjoyable things on the planet.
Okay, so now we
Ready,
have
1.
the tea. Now, during the talk
Take
break,
1.
he was telling me about a secret recipe that is your go-to to give you the kick in
ready,
the pants.
camera
We
two.
have
to
a
start
full
your
screen
day.
for this.
It's a special
Take
kind
2.
of tea. Would you want to tell me what kind of tea this is?
All
Ready,
right,
ME1.
so right here we got green tea and we've
Take
got
ME1.
peppermint tea. Now you can switch it up depending
Yep,
on
that's
how
it.
you're feeling in the morning, especially
camera
if you have
4.
more respiratory issues.
Dissolve the camera 4.
The peppermint is always a good go-to.
Ready, camera
It
2.
clears out your sinuses very well. And the green tea, if
Take
you're
camera
not
2.
having any cold-like symptoms, then
Ready, 3.
go with the green tea. But so what I
Take
usually
3.
start with, boiling the water, and it's a lot easier with a kettle. You don't have to spend time over the stove, and it's just a click.
Ready, 2.
You walk away from
Take
it,
2.
it'll stop when it's done boiling, and then you can just pour your cup of tea.
1.
Excellent.
Can you zoom out a little bit and
So
have Dylan
what I
in the
like to
shot
do
as well?
is I like to, we don't have sugar here with us now, it
Ready,
would make
3.
a large mess,
Take
but I like
3.
to do a couple spoonfuls of sugar, especially in a cup size like this. And we also have
There's
about
about 3
cardamom
minutes
here
left in
that
this.
goes
They have
really
to
well
hurry up.
in tea as well as coffee.
I've heard
We
that.
get them
Yes.
hurry up a little bit,
So
please.
we
Ready,
also
2,
have
take
raw
2.
honey here, and I really recommend raw honey.
Ready,
Raw
4.
Raw honey.
Any
You
other?
can't.
Take 4.
Honestly, no, because it's not going to be the
Good
same.
read. Ready, 2. Take 2.
So you just you get some raw honey, you throw some sugar
Ready,
in
3.
there, and you're
Take
all
3.
set.
Well, let's go. Let's pour some raw honey in here.
Ready,
What
1.
else we need?
Take 1.
We need some of that cardamom.
So the
Ready,
cardamom.
4.
Yeah.
How many
Wait
spoonfuls
for
are
him to
there?
get the
Ooh,
guard.
I would say I would do one, not
And
push
take
it.
4.
And
Ready,
next,
1.
what's the
Take
last
1.
one? I think you said there was one more that we need.
Ah,
Ready,
yes.
camera 2.
So we have
Take
some
2.
peppermint leaves here, and we throw
Ready,
this
3.
in kind of to spice it up. Give it
Take
that
3.
little. It it won't be the same as the peppermint tea, so it'll give you
Well,
a little
throw it
bit
in
less.
there.
Yeah,
Sounds
yeah.
like that water's just about
Take
done.
two.
Yep. And we'll flick this up, and we'll take this off. And here,
Ready,
I want you
four?
to try the tea before we get to the soup.
Take 4.
It's hot, so be careful.
Okay, we
Here,
have 2
let's
minutes
grab-
left in this.
Ready, 2.
There we go.
There we go.
Take
Now,
2.
we already have
Ready,
a green
1.
tea bag
Take 1.
inside this. So right now we just got to stir it around and make sure the bag settles. I'm gonna wait a little while for the tea bag to
That's
settle.
fair.
I like my tea nice
Ready,
and
2.
strong.
Yep,
Take
yep.
2.
And it's a bit hot right now.
Yeah. So in the meantime, we're just gonna talk about the soups we have here. These are your top
Ready,
3
1.
soups
Take
you've
1.
chosen.
So first we have miso soup right
Ready,
here,
three.
and the miso soup
Ready,
is always
4.
a go-to, like I said
Take 4.
to you earlier. It's good with colds. It's just
Slow,
nice on the
slow.
palate, very light overall.
Ready,
Go
1.
ahead and give it a taste.
Take 1.
Well, I'll just go to give it a try. I'm not much of a soup guy,
That-
but
that's
I'll
fair.
try anything once.
It's cold.
Ready, 2.
That's-
Take 2.
That's pretty terrible, actually. I don't like that.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's okay.
Ready, 3.
We have chicken noodle soup here. You gotta like chicken noodle soup.
Take 3.
I mean,
And
again,
it's not
I'll try
chunky.
anything
It's
once.
yeah.
Ready,
It
1.
looks chunky.
Chicken
Kinda-
noodle
Take
is,
1.
is always a go-to, you know, when you're sick or you're just, you know, you're not feeling it.
Ready, 2. Take 2.
Oh man.
It's definitely cooled
The
down
poor
since,
guy.
since we've started.
Yeah.
Cold soup, not a good
Ready?
idea.
No.
Ready,
no, it's
3.
We have about a
Finally,
minute
this
left
one I
in
actually
this.
have
Ready,
tried.
1.
This is French onion soup.
Take 1.
And this is more of a delicacy. if anything.
Ready,
the bread's
4.
pretty much absorbed most of the soup, so I'm not even going to bother trying it.
Very
I
nice.
am very interested to see what
ready,
this
2.
tea is going to be.
Go ahead,
tasting
yeah,
like
give it a
because
taste.
This
Take 2.
actually smells quite delicious.
Ready, 1. Take 1.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Right.
Ready, 3.
That's incredible.
That's right.
Oh man.
All right, we have about 30 left
Ready,
in
2.
Thank
this.
you so much. I'm
Take
going to have
2.
to get a list of that recipe.
Can we
Amazing.
get
You
2
wish.
shot? Thank
So
you.
stick around because we're going to be right back.
Oh,
So stay tuned to
okay.
Surviving Ithaca
Alright,
Winters.
ready, music. Sneak the music in. Ready, still store 1. Dissolve, still store 1. Music full. Kill the mics. Ready to dissolve, ready to fade to black. Fade to black. Ready, fade to roof cam. 1 minute.
all right, we're. Yes.
How much is left in the show?
We got about a minute left.
Yes. We're about 15 under.
We're 15 under.
Yes.
Do you need him to talk?
We got
a bit
30
or
seconds.
anything?
Well, he has to do the thank yous and the coming up. Tell him to do it kind of slowly, and then we'll tell him when to wrap.
Gotcha.
How much time we got, John?
20.
Okay.
15.
15 seconds. Ready to fade to black
10,
and fade to still store
9,
1.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fade to black, fade to still store 1. Music full. Ready, camera 2. Dissolved camera 2. Mic and cue, music under.
And welcome back.
You can have him
I'm
do this
having
slowly.
the time of my life with this cup of tea. I mean, it is just out of this world. Dylan, I want to thank you once again for
Of course.
teaching me the recipe and feeding me this cup
All
of
right,
tea.
you know, you gotta help out when you can.
I appreciate that.
All
And
right, we have
Melissa,
a
I
minute
wanna
left
thank
in
you one more
show.
time for coming onto the show and showing us how to better prepare ourselves for the incoming
Ready,
winter
camera
weather.
4.
Thank you. I actually wanted
Camera
to
4,
give
can
you
you
a
zoom
gift.
out a little bit?
Here is a shovel. I know you've been struggling. We talked about it in the breaks. How much you have.
Ready, camera
struggled
1, take
putting
camera
You can
everything
have
one.
him
So I got
start
you a nice
rapping because we have to
big
do
shovel,
credits.
so that way you could
Ready,
do it.
camera
Thank
4.
you so much for having me.
Thank you, Melissa. This is phenomenal.
All right,
Well, that
wrap.
about wraps up our show
Take
here
2.
today. One more thanks to our
we doing
guests,
credits on
Dylan
2
and
or
Melissa. Be sure
We have
to tune
30
in
left
again
in
next
show.
week for an
Alright,
exclusive
ready to dissolve
interview
camera
with,
4
Pete and
with
Elliot
credits.
Johans, who spent a whole month in the wild north of Canada. Until then, goodbye
Alright.
and stay warm.
Fun.
Cut our mic, dissolve camera
20
4
left in
with
show.
credits. And music full.
And switch.
15 left in show.
Switch. Switch.
10,
This
9,
is, we've got,
8, 7,
Dissolve
6,
camera 1.
5,
that's the last
4,
one.
Ready to fade to
3,
black.
2, 1.
Fade to black.
Very nice job, group 3. Very nice. Good luck. Have that mic, please put down your
Which one is
headset.
it? Was it this one?